Okay, now it seems like we're live. We're live and we're back to life. Oh my God, it's been a while, and we're back with another episode of Symphony Persona Live. Once again, I'm Bodan, and Symphony Persona Live is this incredible, we hope so, live talk show where we meet amazing symphonians and try to learn some cool personal stories and get inspiration and some good-natured fun. This is where we try to turn ordinary chats into extraordinary adventures. Incredible, we hope so, live talk show where we meet amazing symphonians and try to learn some cool is personal. This okay? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Ah, that's all we do in the IT industry. Try to fix bugs, which we not always can do. Okay, I fixed this one and I'm back to life because this episode of Symphony Persona Live has an exciting title. It's No Games, Just Gains. And I want you to get ready to meet my very good friend and a man of very many talents. He never loses his cool no matter what. He's got a twin with some fun stories to share. He's shy in front of a camera, but a star in life. Hits the gym hard and pushes limits every day. Loves to travel. And he may not be the best dancer, but he's always the life of the party. Please welcome Mr. Excellence, our service delivery manager at Symphony Solutions, all the way from Nigeria, Ndifreke Okon. Welcome,
Thank,
Andy.
thank you, Bogdan. It's a privilege to be here. I'm super excited to to have this conversation with you. I don't know where to take us, but please, I hope everyone is fastened to their seatbelt because it's going to be a journey.
I really hope so too. Thanks for coming. We've been waiting for you for so long. We really wanted you to be on the show, but you were always busy and
It's the work. We get paid to do so, so come on.
But
Yeah.
anyhow, we have like 55, almost an hour minutes to talk to one another. Obviously, this show, Symphony Persona Live, is not about you growing at Symphony Solutions as a professional, which you are doing extremely good. This is about talking about you as a person, about we're touching a little bit of your personal life. We really want to get some inspiration from your personal stories. And we want for you to have some fun as well. We want for you to learn something you may have forgotten. And this is why, to warm you up, we suggest that we play this famous game, Never Have I Ever. Would you
Wow.
mind playing that one with us?
Oh, let's have it. Let's have it.
Okay.
Maybe.
It's nice and simple. All you need to do is just to raise your any right or left hand up, bring it towards the camera, right? So that we can see five fingers. You don't have to hold it out there all the time. Just bring it whenever it needs to be there, because I'm gonna state something you supposedly have never done before. If you have done it though, I want you to bring one finger down. Just put one finger down, and so we can see it. Okay. Have fun now and try to be as honest as you can. We're playing Never Have I Ever with Andy. So this first one is: Never have I ever laughed so hard that I had to leave the room. When was last?
It was like hanging out with friends, and I was laughing so hard. I can't remember what the joke was about, but I farted in midst of them all. It was embarrassing, but it was, and it happens very often. I guess there's a correlation between how you laugh and how you discharge air from your behind. I don't know. It's not very interesting, but yeah, I definitely have had to excuse myself a few times from your room when I laugh so hard.
That makes you happier. This next one is never have I ever pretended to be someone else on a phone call. No, okay. Never have I ever been hungover. Okay, when was last?
Def- Definitely. I don't drink so much these days. But back in my
What do
university
you mean
days,
these days? How old are you
well,
now?
what I mean these days, I mean like in the last couple of maybe 2 years, 3 years. But when I was way younger, when I was in university, the fun was always off the roof. I remember, going out with a few friends who were on. In Nigeria, we have what we call the semester break. So you could do the first semester, you have a break, and then you go come back for the second semester. So there was a break in between one of I think my year two, and I spent most of the time drinking. And there was this very day we went. We used to go to a spot where we eat fried meat and we take palm wine, something we call palm wine. It's like a local drink made from palm fruits.
Okay.
And I had a lot of it. I know I managed to get home, but everything that happened after I got home, I have no idea. I only remember waking up the following morning with so much headache. It was crazy. I woke up like maybe 12 noon or thereabouts. And yeah, I
Was
did
your head
vow.
probably big like this?
I, I felt like I walked through a brick wall. I did make a promise to myself that I would never do that again, but I did it a few more times
We,
before
we
I actually stopped. But yeah,
we
I
say
have
that to
actually been
ourselves
hungover
so many
a few
often, so
times.
many times. Yeah. Oh man, so many good memories from
Bogdan,
those.
can you hear me?
I can, yes, I can hear you well. Yes, it's all good. We have so many good memories from those rebel years from our students'
Yeah,
life.
it was
Okay,
wild. Well, I was wilder when I was way younger in the second university. Now, kind of way calmer, but it was
okay.
fun.
So we got two, right? There's three left. Nice.
Yeah.
Next one here is never have I ever gotten into a physical fight.
No, I don't. I
Yeah,
like my face too much. I don't like it to
maybe,
get messed up.
or maybe you just don't remember because it was that night, huh?
There is that, but I hardly
Okay,
fight.
listen to this. This is one of my favorites. Never have I ever had a crush on a symphonian.
Are we allowed to have crushes on symphonians?
Oh.
Um, no, really. We work remotely, so you barely get to see your colleagues. And then again, I might have my girlfriend watching this episode, so I need to be super careful as well. But yeah, no, I haven't had a crush on Eddie
Okay.
Symphony. I do remember thinking when I originally joined, everyone was so nice to me, and I had a call with I think Tanya, and I was like, oh, she's beautiful, but not no crush, nothing more than
Okay, so Tanya, if you're watching us right now, well, first
that.
hit that like button and write a comment because there's someone in this company who really likes you, and that's not just me. Yeah, there's now.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another really tricky one. Be quite honest. Never have I ever broken the law.
Oh, I have broken the law.
Have you? Okay. What did you
We
do?
we literally break the law almost all of the time in Nigeria. It's well, we
Part
have
of
an
life?
interesting way of doing things in Nigeria. As much as we break the law, people tend to look at what is the gravity of the law you've broken? Does it hurt somebody else? So in my case, it's traffic lights. I have a way of being impatient sometimes, and I just speed past traffic. And then sometimes it's not my fault because, well, somebody in front of me goes and I'm in a hurry. So yeah, I've broken the law in that regard. Not my proudest moment, but it happens often. So I can't say I haven't broken the law.
Sometimes you just have to, even to survive. Okay, and well, you've mentioned you have a girlfriend. We still have two left, but here's a very common question. Never have I ever used a dating app. Does she know about it?
I really don't know. I hope she's not watching.
She's watching the show.
I hope she's not, but I have an app back back in the days. I used to travel for work, like different states in Nigeria, and you just want to meet up with new people, in areas you go to. So yeah, I did use a couple of dating app back in the days.
Okay. Well, there's one left. Well, there's one left, and I have a couple of questions here, like statements. So one of them is, never have I ever Googled myself.
I have Googled myself.
Why would you?
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of being on Facebook, right? And I remember a few years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago, I went on Facebook and I deleted like my pictures and all of that, the pictures I had on there. No, it's over 10 years, maybe 15 years ago or something. And as recently as maybe last year, I decided to see what others will see if they decide to look for me. Like if they type in Ndifreke Okon, what comes up? And I did it, and I did it recently again. I remember recently, I think the marketing team was asking me about LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profile and stuff, and I didn't remember my LinkedIn password. I had to quickly do a reset. So I had gone and Googled myself and said, what is, if somebody checks on me, what do they see there? And just pure inquisitiveness. And I realized that I have so many Ndifrekes. I am not alone in this world. There's so many other Ndifrekes. So yeah, I have Googled myself a couple of times.
Be sure you mean a lot for us here at Symphony Solutions.
Thank you
Otherwise,
very much.
otherwise you wouldn't be on the show. Okay. All right. Thanks for your honesty. We've had a lot of fun playing Never Have I Ever with Andy. And so we have kind of few chapters on this show. And one of them is we call them quick questions. So these quick
Okay.
questions are the questions we want you to answer as soon as the question is asked, like immediately, and to answer whatever pops in your head at that particular moment. It's like a game show, but you win nothing.
Okay, great then. Let's have it.
So this first one here is, what posters were on your bedroom walls growing up?
Nothing really. I had a plain painted wall. Didn't really have a poster up on my bedroom wall.
Okay, who was your crush, like celebrity crush at that time?
Oh, I think she still is my celebrity crush. It's a Nigerian Ghanaian actress, Nadia Buhari.
Nadia Buhari.
Yes, Nadia Buhari.
I think
She is.
she must have Ukrainian background because we have a lot of Nadias here in Ukraine.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, I don't think she is. She does, but she's pretty beautiful. Yeah, if you Google her, then you probably see what I see as well.
Try not to share the link to this show with your girlfriend.
I, I hope not. But yeah,
Okay, here's another one. Really, one of my favorites. What's the weirdest or most unusual thing you ever did to make money?
I hope this is not going to be shared with the police. It's not. I hope it's not so illegal because I have sold my blood before to make money.
No
It's a
kidding.
strange story, but I'll tell you how it goes. So back in the days, back in the university, I did a lot of crazy stuff. I would admit it first.
I can tell.
Yes, we used to have. I had a friend who was giving birth, and apparently one night they called my friend and said they needed blood. So he went and gave blood, and then when he returned, he told us about how while he was in the hospital, he saw people donating blood, but for a pay, they were being paid for it. And
Mhm.
so I did a couple of things. I went to the hospital. I changed my name and I went. Good thing I have my blood type is O positive. I
Mhm.
went, they tested, and I donated blood and got paid for it. Afterwards, you're supposed to wait, I think, a couple of months before you go back again. But I did go again, like maybe after a couple of months and got money for it again. It was crazy because um there was just this thrill about doing it and not getting caught. Not because I think I also needed the money at the time, but more it was just crazy overall, going to sell. But I couldn't tell people. I could only speak to the person who introduced me to it, because people were going to be quick to condemn, like, why do you sell your blood? Why don't you just donate it? But I've donated for free, but in that moment, I did it for money. So I think that's one of the weirdest thing I did for money.
It is. But how much would you make?
Oh, at the time, it was 4,000 naira per I don't know what they call it, pints of blood. It's just a little sack.
Units.
Yes, units. They pay you 4,000 naira for it at the
How
time.
much would that be in euros or in dollars?
In dollars, that would be barely $3 or $4.
Mhm. How
Just give me a
much?
second.
Yeah, how much booze would you be able to buy for
Oh, with
$4?
that amount, I'll be able to get a good night for myself. At the time, things were a little, less expensive than it is right now. So at that time, you could comfortably get a full crate of beer for that amount.
Oh, okay. Now I know
So,
why you did that.
but now it will be really bad to do that, because if the price this they give you is 4,000, you can barely get 3 bottles of quality beer. So it
Oh,
does no
okay.
longer worth
That's why you don't do it anymore.
well, that and amongst other reasons, I don't think I need to do it anymore. But yeah, it was the weirdest.
Wow. We're not even halfway in this show, but I'm already crying. Okay. So, and here's one very exciting. And remember, it's a quick question. First thing that pops in your head. What's the most romantic thing you have ever done to impress someone you loved?
Oh, that's easy. Um, I feel, to be honest, Bogdan, I've not really been a very romantic person all my life, but recently I've gotten into the culture of being quite romantic. I think as recently as February, during the Valentine celebration, February 14, I made a little spectacle for my girlfriend. I invited someone to come to my house. They decorated it, red balloons, candle lights, flowers, and the whole spectrum, from the door to the living room to the bedroom. It was all decorated. Lightings was brought in. I remember that day, and it makes me feel proud of myself. Like, my
It makes
girlfriend
me
remembers it.
proud
Yeah,
of knowing
I'm
you,
like,
buddy.
yeah, you put something really nice off. It was the most romantic I've ever been, I think. Yes, it's been the most romantic I've
Well,
ever
did you propose? No, it was just
been. It was just for Valentine. I didn't propose. She actually thought I was going to propose in that moment, but
oh, I thought so too.
I didn't. I didn't propose. I
Well,
made it.
I can only imagine what will be happening when you propose.
Well, I'm still planning it. It's still, the plan is still coming together in my head, but it's going to be grand. I want to make a whole show of it, because I just want to do it for memory's sake.
Keep it secret. Okay, everybody watching this, keep it secret. Okay.
Yeah, let them keep it to themselves. Thank you. Let me not shout too much.
All right. Here's the simple one. What do you want for your birthday?
That's as simple as it is. It's quite hard, because I've never really expected gifts. I've received a few, but I don't sit down and think about, gifts that people should give to me. I had a recent quarrel with my girlfriend. My birthday was 2 weeks ago, and she was talking about what she should do, and I'm like, don't bother, don't do anything. I'm cool. So I really don't know what I'd like to get for my birthday. Maybe a meet with Tao would be a super birthday gift.
Okay. It works for me. Okay. And the last one here is quite serious, but if you had an unlimited supply of one thing, what would that be?
Unlimited supply of one thing. What would that be? Oh, banana. Banana. bananas, definitely. It has to be bananas. It has to be bananas. With bananas, I can be very creative with it. I love bananas. I think the only animal that will love banana more than me will be monkeys. I could even compete with them, if I'm being honest, with them monkeys. I take bananas, I make smoothies with bananas and a combination of other fruits. I like to eat my rice with bananas as well. I eat bananas when I'm watching a movie, just snack on it. I eat banana in the morning when I wake up. I like to have it. When I go to work out and I come back, I like to eat bananas first if I have it. So I think if I had an unlimited supply of bananas, I would probably grow bananas on my head.
Oh, is that okay? So once again, we're streaming live on YouTube, and there's so many people watching us right this second, and we've got people from Macedonia and all over the globe. Somebody, Xenia Kobran, is watching us. Do you know? Are you familiar with this name, Andy?
Yes, I am. Thanks, Ksenia. We appreciate it.
I
Yeah,
hope she's having fun because
I
I'm
hope
having
so.
so much fun talking to you. And just a quick reminder, we are always allowed and we encourage you, whoever's watching us live, to ask questions. Andy has something very, very special as a prize for the one of you who asks the most exciting, the most tricky, the most intriguing question on this show. So please just go ahead. You can tell now that he has an outstanding sense of humor. Somebody else is watching us from Lviv. And Xenia says, you are a cool banana lover. Okay. All right. So we're done with the quick questions and we're switching gears and we move on to the big questions. And these questions are big because we've announced these topics when we first invited you to the show. And they do get me excited, of course. So this first one out of these bullet points and statements in the announcements were that you are the man who never gets angry. So my question here is, can you share a time when everyone expected you to lose your cool, but you didn't? What's the secret?
Um, okay, for a specific reason, before I joined Symphony, I used to manage projects for the company I was managing. And one time I had to go physically to a client site. We were supposed to do a deployment to go live, and it didn't go as planned. The client was angry. Now, in trying to, calm the situation and explain what had gone wrong, apparently it looked like some members of his team had also been at fault for the go live not being successful. And the client wasn't exactly having it in that moment. So everybody was angry in the room, people from my own company and people from the client. And it was heated. My people were angry. And for some reason, I was the only person who wasn't offended. The client even took a chair and threw the chair. It hit me, but it didn't injure me. I cut it and put it down, and it walked out. And people in my company were pissed and they were angry, and I didn't seem to be angry by it. I just wanted the entire day to be over and for me to go home and eat some bananas. But that was a moment where I felt everyone thought I would be really angry because one, he was also talking to me and raising his voice and using abusive words, but he also threw a chair, even though he was just angry and didn't mean it to hit me. But I wasn't. I actually just kept it down and walked towards him to try and help him to relax. But yeah, the reason I don't get angry is I've been angry before, so it's not like I'd never get angry. When I used to be young or younger, I used to be really angry, and my twin bore the grunt of my anger back then. I had done conspicuous things to her. I have chased her with a knife before. I have used a pressing iron on her legs before. So, and then I've had repercussions for it because my elder sister had slapped me one time so hard it left a mark on my face, right? So my anger in that moment, apart from it subsiding, I took deliberate effort to pray and try to not get angry often. So the way I see life, before I get angry, I ask myself, how does this anger benefit me? Like, am I getting angry for what? My mom used to say something. My mom says sometimes getting angry is punishing yourself for the offense of somebody else. So, for example, you step on me, right? You have committed the offense, and then I get angry. Why am I getting angry for an offense you committed? All of this somehow just made me, I realized that there's no use getting angry. And then because of the nature of my job, I realized that it's best if I have a clear head in making decisions than just being off. When I'm offended, you act emotionally most times. So I rather just be looking at the situation in isolation without my emotions, because anger itself is a really, really strong emotion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that quote from your mommy once
Oh,
again?
she says, why get angry for somebody else's offense? So
Oh,
somebody offends you and then you get angry for that person.
okay. All right. Your mom is an amazing person,
Yes,
isn't she?
she
Okay.
certainly she is.
So if she does watch this show, or if she ever does, we say hello from Symphony Solutions. You've raised an amazing son. He's a great guy.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was so inspiring. And let's switch back to some fun stories. I hope so. So you are a twin, and you have a twin sister.
Yes, I
So
do.
yeah, this story must be full of surprises, I guess. So what's one of the funniest or most unexpected Twix mix-ups you've ever experienced? Any exciting, fun stories of you being a twin?
Yeah, there've been a few, but because I'm a guy and she's a girl, it's really um easy to differentiate us. We're not identical twins like that. We're just fraternal twins. But we've had interesting situations where when I was younger, I did not always like to wear the same matching attires with my twin. And somehow parents just have this belief that because you're twin, you ought to wear the same clothes with your twin. And she was a lady, and I kept wondering, why do I have to wear the same exact attire with her? And sometimes she could be really annoying when we are younger. Now she's the sweetest of them all. Um, and she grew faster than I did. She was like way bigger, and she always wanted to intimidate me. So we had the craziest moment of cat and dog fighting always.
So
Yeah, but it was an experience. But right now, she's my second love. She's almost the love of my life, and yeah, she's
are
special.
you very close to one another?
Yes, we're very close. She's not currently in Nigeria, but we are very close. We talk not every day, but almost every day.
Wow,
She's married, so
it's
yes,
really.
she has her
Where
own
does she
life.
live?
She's in the UK,
Oh, in the United Kingdom. What's
in
her
the
name?
next floor. Ubong, UB.
Yubi?
Yeah.
Yubi? Once again, hi from Symphony Solutions. This guy, your twin brother, is hilarious. Okay. Thanks for supporting him. And
Yeah, she has done a part.
yeah. Okay. And here's another fun fact about you, and that's the fact that you hate taking photos. Like you're not a fan of photos, but we know that your twin sister and your girlfriend both make you take photos sometimes.
Oh, yes, Bogdan. Life was unbearable with my twin back in the days. She likes to take photographs. So let me give you a background story of how or why I did not really like photography in the first place. I felt like photographers deliberately look for the worst of myself and show to me. So I take a picture, the way I imagine myself to be and the way I see the picture are two different things, and I look so ugly in those pictures. So I never liked it. And back in the days, I used to be ashamed of my ears. I used to have my ears used to bend out. They used to be like a little out, you know. Um, and it made me not so. I didn't like to look at myself in the mirror or look at myself in the picture. So I never saw the reason to take pictures. And then when I was forced to do it, it never used to come out fine. So I just felt okay. I've accepted my fate. I'm not photogenic. Not everybody's photogenic. If you really want to know how good looking I am, come and see me in person. You'll get full experience. But my twin was not like that. She likes to take photographs. So she would, on our birthday, she would organize a photo shoot. And I'm wondering, I'm not going to do it. We would fight over it. And I could manage it for a while. But when I got my girlfriend was not having any of it. She would literally take pictures of you all of the time. I could be sitting and walking right now and she's taking a picture of me. We're going for an event and she wants to take picture. And if you say no, she gets angry. Like it was a really big deal for her. And she even went as far as teaching me how to take pictures. Like she takes a phone, says, hold it like this, set the camera like this, make the brightness this much, make it this way, so that when it comes out, you will love it.
That's
And
what happens to you when you get a girlfriend, man.
like she was all in my business for taking photographs. So while I might not have enjoyed it, now I take sometimes just to please her. I could go for an event alone and she's asking me, hey, send me some pictures. You have to send me some pictures. And I try to act like I forget. Sometimes I tell her I forget and there's war. It's a whole war we would have to fight afterwards. So somehow I have to force myself and take these pictures. And even though I don't like them. So sometimes I could take pictures and just delete it and tell her I didn't take, because at the end of the day, I look at it and I don't like it. But for a very few pictures I take and I like, I tend to keep them and appreciate that I have even taken them. So yeah, that's the story behind my camera shyness, so to speak. But I prefer speaking over the camera than having to just stand and pose, because I'm restless. Let me tell you, I'm really restless when it comes to taking picture. You know how you could stand and strike a pose? I don't know how to strike a pose. I don't know how to stand still. So I'm constantly moving my body and it infuriates my girlfriend. She's like, just stay one place, just be steady. Why are you moving up and down? But yeah, I'm not big on taking pictures. I feel like it's a waste of my time. Like I could be walking. Why do I have to stand and take pictures? But now I appreciate it because I look back at some of the pictures I have with my sister, and I don't have so much, but I now see that these are memories that sometimes when they are not close to you, you tend to look at it and you just bodes well. There's this good feeling you have about it. But yeah, that's my story about not taking pictures.
Okay. You look great, by the way. I love that shirt on you. Is it something that you wear on a special occasion, or is it something that you traditionally wear in Nigeria? Or is there a story behind wearing this shirt, or is it just a regular
It,
outfit?
well, it's quite regular because I wear it even on Fridays, when I'm going out to just hang out, or going out on Sunday to the church, or going out to see a friend. And like today, going out to have a special discussion with Symphony. It's not exactly a traditional attire. Maybe I should have done the wrapper. Maybe next time I'm going to tie a wrapper and wear my full, traditional regalia, have my chain all over, I mean my neck piece all over and all of that. But no, this is just a regular, wear we have in Nigeria. We just put it on and go out.
Okay. Well, it looks beautiful, honestly. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Last question here. When speaking of photos, it's quite tricky, but if you had if you had gotten a chance to take a selfie with one celebrity symphonian, who would that be?
Oh, definitely. It's simple. One person, Taro.
Okay.
But
Uh,
I would also like to have a photo with Olesia and Sophia. Those are two wonderful ladies I had to work with. Those are people I like to take a photo with as
Oh,
well.
they are amazing. Yes. Tell Sophia, Alessa, hello from Symphony Solutions and from Andy. Okay. Moving on. Another big topic, a fun topic, but um, uh, just like myself, you don't know how to play video games. Okay.
Uh,
So the question is, since video games are off your list, what's your favorite way to unwind, recharge, and have fun? And what's the story behind you not knowing how to play video games?
okay, so I'll start with the last question. Why
Yeah.
do I not play video games? So Growing up, I had a few computer. Every child, you bought these computer games and all, but I didn't have so much. But when I started interacting with folks, with friends, they played a lot of games. I remember in secondary school, sometimes we even skipped classes to go play games, and I didn't do it so often, but I had friends who played games so much. And when I started to learn how to do it, it was PS. At the time, it was PlayStation 1. I don't know if you PlayStation 1 was in vogue back in the days. And I tried to start learning how to play it. I realized that whenever I play for maybe 10, 20 minutes, I have a really strong pain in my finger because you're always tapping the pad on the pad. I think the run, is it the run or the marking, something like that. You always have to hold it down constantly. And it just was really uncomfortable for me after a very short while. But what really broke the camel's back was on a particular day I went to, because sometimes they have all these outlets like shops where they play all these games.
Mhm.
So I went with a friend to one of them. He went to play the game. He was playing. I was watching him. It shot back in the days. They used to make it really interesting by monetizing it. Like you could bet with some other person. I will beat you. You will beat me, and stuff like that. And they bet, yeah. And I was there, spurring my friend on, hoping he wins and all, so that we get some money and just, fool around, so to speak. And a guy from the game shop came to me and said, "Oh, Andy, please, this was in 2010, 2010, yes. Andy, I need to make a call. Can I use your phone?" And oh, sure, sure, have it. I gave him my mobile phone at the time, and he was supposed to use it to make a call. So he just moved out a little. Well, I was distracted by my friend playing and scoring, and then I didn't see this person again. I don't know where he went, but the whole plan was to steal my phone from me. So I got really pissed about it that moment. I was shouting. I was blaming my friend that why would he bring me to a place where they steal. You know, it was the last time I entered the game house. I've never stepped into a game shop, and I just lost interest in learning. And since then, I've not really picked up trying to learn again. I know I've been in safer environments. I've had friends who even have PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, but now I'm not interested. But what I do, in my spare time to unwind, basically, is I love to watch movie. I'm a movies guy. I have my Netflix constantly subscribed.
What's your
So
favorite? What's your favorite movie?
I like thrillers. I like thrillers. I don't have a favorite movie per se. I just enjoy, like back in the days, I used to like Prison Break a whole lot. I don't know if you know Prison Break. I watched 24. 24. I think Jack Bauer was the star actor back then. I just like anything that is investigative. I also like legal fiction. I like to listen
Mhm.
to watch legal movies. All Rise, Lincoln Lawyer, How to Get Away with Murder, Suits. I like legal fictions as well. To an extent, I enjoy medical fiction, but more often than not, I like investigative movies, thrillers where there is a conspiracy, there's a huge conspiracy and all. What I don't like animes. I don't like science fictions. I feel like it's just too exaggerated, not my taste. So
Too
yeah, but
unreal.
I unwind watching movies. I sometimes when I finish from work, usually in Symphony, I just go to the parlor, turn on TV, watch a movie. And sometimes I watch a movie and fall asleep before I go to the room. And I also like to go to the gym. So um, when I want to just feel good about myself, I go to the gym. On weekends, I play ball because during the week it's hard to really go out and play ball. You're working and all. But over the weekend, I like to hang out with friends and play ball. So those are some of the things I do to unwind. Movies, very the first and foremost. Then I go to the gym, and then I also try to play football on some weekends, not every time. I've not played in a while, but that's because I have some kind of injury on my knee. But I usually like to do that.
Well, you forgot about bananas.
Or that's for food. That's for food. That's for food. But yeah, no, all banana comes in every way because when I go to the gym, I come back and I take a smoothie, banana smoothie. I'm
Yeah.
watching that movie. I'm snacking on banana sometimes with some nuts and stuff. So yeah,
Okay.
banana all the way.
Same thing. Back in the childhood days, you've dreamed of becoming a football player. Is that true?
Yeah, I have. I actually really wanted to be a footballer. Like it was funny enough, my parents supported me back then. I remember being in junior secondary school, like we call it, I think is the equivalent of college. Yeah. And I got my parents bought me boots. I joined a football club, local football club in Lagos, Nigeria. We used to play. I used to go interstate from Lagos State to Ogun State to Oyo State. We used to play competitions. We had scouts come around. But for some reason, the greed of my coach back in the days did not allow some of us to be great because these scouts would come and instead of genuinely marketing us to them, they just focused on trying to get money from these
Ah,
scouts instead, you know. So the talent management was poor. But I really wanted to be a footballer. Like, I only realized that I wasn't going to do this again, you know, when I was about to go into the university, and I realized that, see, I've tried and I was hitting what 18 or thereabout, and I realized that people who are playing now have started, you know, a while ago. I can't, so I just moved on. But yeah, it was a really, really good moment for me. I still enjoy playing football. I still enjoy playing football.
and you've also dreamed of, at some point of your childhood period, you dreamed of becoming a journalist. How so?
Yeah, so being a journalist was pretty easy. It was it was an early childhood dream because when my parents, you know, when we were all living together, we used to, in the Nigerian family setting, by 9 o'clock, you had to watch the news. It was your parents has to watch the news, and somehow you're there. There's nothing you could do. I think I was more interested in the dress sense and charisma of journalists when they
Mhm.
report. So there is this aura, they have this aura about them. They speak really good English. Their courage is super. They are well dressed, and it just got to me, and it was so strong that even though my father wanted me to be an engineer, I
Mhm.
went into school to university to be a journalist. um why I'm not a journalist right now, I think is a story for another day. But one of the reasons is, um when we're in school, after you get to a certain level, maybe 300 level, your year three in school, you're being asked to do some kind of internship where you work with journalists, you know, you try to do some practical work. And I started it and realized that the road to journalism, or the way journalism was practiced at the grassroots level, was just not what I dreamt of. It was a whole different ball game of trying to please people, trying to be like you're a fanatic, or you're trying to, you see something that is wrong and you cannot see it because somebody has bought you, has paid you money for it. And that wasn't what journalism was for me. You know, I felt like I needed to expose things, I needed to be unbiased. And in that brief moment of practicing, I realized that, you know, I couldn't fit the atmosphere in my country for journalism, and I changed.
Just the journalism to order, right? So
Yeah, I couldn't, but yeah, I did change.
thanks for sharing that. And let's switch back to some fun stories. It
All
says
right, great.
terrible dancer.
Oh, Bogdan, I cannot dance to save my life. Like, if you had a gun in front of me and asked me to dance, I would probably just ask you to shoot me at once. Be- Yeah, and funny thing is, I like to move my body. So I could easily deceive you that I'm a dancer if you met me sitting down. You see me move my body, you know, and you could be fooled that, oh, maybe he knows how to dance. But deep down, I do not know how to dance. If I stand up now, I my body is so strong, my waist is so strong, I can barely move it properly to the rhythm of a song. But I like to still jump up when I'm, you know, in the midst of my friends and there's music. I like to still just be there and around, but it's terrible dancing. You just laugh all through. But
I
yeah.
want to see that one. I really do.
Yeah.
But the question here was, I think it's important because it's going to open you up as a music lover, I believe. So if you had to impress someone and dancing was your only option, even though you think you were a terrible dancer, which song would you choose to dance to and why?
That's a big one. Which song will I choose to dance to impress somebody? I cannot figure out the song right now. But I think I would rather go with slow dancing. That way I don't have to embarrass myself so much. But if I had to go with, a fast song, I think any contemporary song right now that plays, that's in vogue, I would just dance to it. But I don't have a special dance song for impressing anyone. I don't think I do. No. I do like some certain songs, but they may not be exactly danceable. But no,
Man in the
no, I don't have.
Mirror by Michael
Yeah, yeah.
Jackson.
I like "Man in the Mirror" by Michael Jackson. Not necessarily for the song, but for the lyrics. I like the message he sends out. About introspection, about looking at yourself and changing, starting from you. And all. I like the lyrics a lot. It's one of the songs that inspires
Great
me.
song.
Lyrics inspires me.
One
It's
of the
another
greatest
time.
songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an all-time great song. Yeah, it is.
And we're having in our virtual studio one of the greatest guests ever in the history of Symphony Persona Live. It's Andy Okon, and we're moving on to one of the last questions on the show. And meanwhile, I really want to remind you that you are more than welcome. Whoever's watching us live, you're welcome to ask some interesting, tricky, intriguing questions and win a cool prize from Andy. Trust me, it's really something very, very special, very, very precious. So ask your questions, if any. Meanwhile, we have this really, really big question. For me, it is at least. You've quoted this from I don't know, someone shared this quote with you that life's good but not fair. So the question here is, how has this advice shaped the way you handle challenges and make decisions in your life? And who actually shared this advice with you?
Okay. So the second question is, I can't remember who shared it, but I can tell you how this has shaped me in terms of how I approach life and handle challenges. Now, I realize that a lot of disappointment in life comes from expectation, from
Hmm.
high expectation, and people tend to get, really disappointed when they try to not balance out expectations. And that advice simply brought me to a place where um, I realized that, see, you have to be ready for whatever comes your way and deal with it when they come, right? Some people feel like they're entitled to a certain kind of opportunity or a certain kind of life or a certain kind of response from people. And at the end of the day, they say things like, that's not fair.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's a lazy man's language to always blame fate or blame fairness when you have to put in the work or try to create your own reality. So life is free. You have to know that life is free for everyone, but it's not necessarily fair. Once you're able to understand that life is not necessarily fair for everyone, you tend to put in more effort in what you do, and you tend to not believe that some magical fate would somehow, just make things align for you. You'll become more intentional about your life. So that's what basically how this quote has helped me. It has helped me to become more intentional. I realized that it's not about some fairy tale that will just come and save me. I have to be very intentional. I have to be deliberate. Um, Life will give you the opportunities. Doesn't mean that if you don't capitalize on it, um, what is supposed to be yours in quote. Some people will say, "Oh, it's supposed to be," and I'm like, "Why is it supposed to be? Have you deliberately done something to ensure that it becomes your reality, or you just hope that, oh, because it worked for X person, it has to work for me?" No, So yeah, the way I handle challenges, based off these quotes, I do also have a quote about trust. That trust is like the backbone of collaboration. People without trust, you can only work with people, even maybe cooperate with them. But trust is what makes a group of people go from just being people to being a team.
Okay.
But yeah, I always tell people that life is free but not fair. So you just have to see what you can do to get your own whatever you want for yourself without waiting for anyone. So that's one quote that keeps me going.
You know what? I just thought to myself that whenever we talk to you next and we announce this as a live talk show, I would put in the announcement Andy Okon, the philosopher.
That would be interesting. But I don't have so many philosophies, but
Yeah, but how amazingly smart you are, man, and how deep is your soul? I can feel it. I adore this, honestly. Okay, back from philosophy to the real life.
yeah.
What is that you are ready to give as a gift, as a prize to someone who asks the most exciting, tricky, intriguing, interesting question right now?
All right. So I got inspired by this gift because of what I'm putting on. It complements my attire a lot. It's African bead. It's a hand bead where it's really colorful. I may not have a picture right here to show you, but it's really colorful, and I think I'd like to
Do
give
you
that
have
out.
one of your own, don't you?
I do have a few of them, not anyone close to me right now, but I'll be willing to share it with anyone whose question, gets me to think two times.
So it's kind of like a bracelet, but it's
Yes,
very
like a bracelet.
authentic.
Yes, it's for the wrist. You just put it on your wrist. It's almost like it's not a wristwatch. It's like a bracelet. It's really colorful. It's made of beads. Um, don't know how to explain it. Let me see if I could get a picture of it. Give me a
It's
second.
okay. We trust you.
Yes, yes, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be.
Okay, okay. So once again, you're very welcome to ask your questions down in the comments section here on YouTube, where we are streaming live. This is Symphony Persona Live, and we have one of the most amazing guests ever on the show, and that's Andy. Before we move on to the questions from the audience, and I have this last question, a traditional question. There's a new chapter in the history of Symphony Persona Live. We really want you to share briefly about your experience with Symphony Solutions. So, how long have you been with Symphony already so far?
Oh, I've been with Symphony for 2 years. 2 years and a month.
Mm-hmm.
My anniversary was 1st of August. Yeah, so I've been with Symphony for two years plus now, and it's been interesting because, like I said, when you asked me the question of who would I like to take pictures with, I've had the privilege of working with some of the most amazing people ever, not just because of their support, but because of the advice they give. One of which is Gordana. Um, I know we meet often, but my experience mostly has been because of the ability to learn more about different cultures. That's one thing I take away from Symphony. I've had to interact with a lot of people from different walks of life and realize that there is a unique attribute to every human being, no matter the skill set they have. People still have their differences, and it has also shaped the way I approach people, the way I approach challenges, because now I have a broader spectrum, a broader view of how to do certain things I do. In terms of the job I do with Symphony as a service delivery manager, it's always been part of me to deliver service, to ensure that people are satisfied, people are happy, people are motivated, and it's a natural. It looks like the position was tailor made for me, so to speak.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Okay, we have two questions, I guess, right this second. And first one is Andy, what event in your life had the biggest impact and changed it forever, if any?
Hmm. Event in my life that had the biggest impact on me. I think when I lost my dad,
Oh,
yeah, it made me kind of grow up faster. I realized that I needed to take all of the lessons he had taught me and start applying it now, not later. So 10 years ago when he passed, I think it kind of changed the way I decided to approach life. I grew up faster. I kind of knew that I had to step up. I think that's the significant event in my life.
you had to. I'm so sorry about your dad, but yes, he can be proud of you for sure.
Yeah.
So much, big time. And this other question we have from the audience is, okay, what can make you cry?
That's a huge one, Bogdan. That's a big question because wow, what can make me cry? I think you'd have to beat me, flog me a whole lot to make me cry. Like bring out some whips and take it all over me. But I don't know.
Let me tell you, this question comes from someone you've mentioned earlier. You liked so much at Symphony Solutions. That question comes from Tatiana.
Oh, what can make me cry, Tanya? I'm not sure. I guess maybe the loss of a loved one, but I don't. It would make me feel bad, definitely. I don't know about cry, but for immediate tearing, I think I would have to be properly flogged, like flogged really well, like beaten for me to cry. I don't have a lot of tears in me, unfortunately.
Fortunately, you get a lot of laugh in this life, and I'm
Yes,
so
I
happy.
do. Yeah.
Again, unfortunately, we don't have any more time for any more of the questions. I will share all of them with you in our direct messaging. But who of these two get the gift from you? Is it the question about the biggest the event in your life that has the biggest impact, or is it the question about your tears?
I think the first question about the biggest impact in my life, I think that person gets my gift.
So my congratulations to Shirley Corman. Thank you for this question, Shirley. Yeah, she gets the prize. She gets this gift from Andy.
All right.
Wonderful. Last question, very traditional. How by the way, how old are you right now? May I ask you that?
Uh, I'm 31.
Okay. So what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self?
My 18-year-old self. I probably would advise my 18-year-old self to read more books. Yeah, to read more at the time. I don't think I like to read at the time, but I developed reading, older. But yeah, I think I'll tell my oldest or my younger self to read more. Information is such that you are it puts you on a different level when you know more, you know, and with reading comes information because there's so many things, invested in books. It might not necessarily be technology books. It could just be uh, books about random things like power, books about the world, books about politics, but reading does expand your mind. And yeah, that's what I would advise my 18-year-old self to do, read more books.
I've had such an amazing time in my life throughout these 60 minutes of time. I've enjoyed each and every second of our conversation. Thank you very much for joining us on Symphony Persona Life. You may be
Thank
not
you.
the best answer, but you are such an amazing person, Dandy.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to now know you better. It's a pleasure to have you at Symphony Solutions, and it was a pleasure to have you on our show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bogdana. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Okay. Stay tuned for our next episodes of Symphony Persona Live. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see us very, very soon. Bye bye.